Hello and welcome to Temple Siege. I'm going to be teaching you how to play the very basics of Temple Siege, which is a Dota style map. Now here you have the hero selection screen and you have a whole bunch of heroes you can choose from. I suggest when you're beginning you start off with heroes such as this guy here, the warrior. Reason is he has a lot of hit points. Now I'm currently playing single player on Temple Siege, which means that I have infinite civilians, and that's great for me showing you how to play. Now the first thing I suggest you do is hotkey your hero as hotkey 1 or 2. In my case I use 2. Then go to the top left here, select your gateway and hotkey it as either 1 or 2. In this case I use 1. Now if you hit F2 you'll come to your level ups. Every time you hit a certain amount of experience you get a civilian. At the start I believe it's every 10 experience, later on it changes to every 15 experience. And these civilians you can use on hit points, money, leveling up your spells, mana, and enemy spawn +1. Now most people at the start of the game, they choose money at the start, and I'm going to do that. Okay, I now have 35 minerals, and I can go over here and select my upgrades building and put it as group 3, so I now have 1 as my gateway, 2 as my hero, and 3 as my upgrades. Now this way I can upgrade my attack. Now this here is your temple. The temple is where you can heal at as long as you're in this black space here. And if your temple dies, you lose the game. Now all the way down the other side of the map we have the enemy temple. If you kill that temple, you win the game. The other way to win is to eliminate all the enemy heroes. Now each hero has got 3 lives, and if you die 3 times you're out. If the enemy dies 3 times, they're out. So the best way to so depending on your strategy you can either eliminate the enemy team or you can eliminate their tower. Now I'm going to show you the cannons. Well, first off I'll show you your spells. If you tap 1 you can now select your gateway, and then you have 4 spells which are activated by building these units. At the moment we only have our first spell, which defensive stance, maintains 10 shields for 10 seconds. So if I go to my hero and I hit that, then as you can see I get 10 shields and they will not go down no matter what attacks me. This is great for basically giving you 10 extra armor, but it only lasts for a short amount of time. There you go, that puff of smoke shows that the effect has worn off. Now as you can see there, I passed 10 experience and got a level up, so if I hit F2, you can see I have another civilian here. Normally you wouldn't have all these extra ones, you'd only have 1 or 2 sitting up here. But now I'll show you your second spell. If you go up here you need 3 civilians to activate it, and you get your second spell. Which, if we look at the mission objectives, it's Heroic Strike, spawns 15 Dark Templars for a few seconds. Now let's have a look at that. There's our Dark Templars. Now this spell is great for trapping enemy heroes and basically doing a whole lot of damage to them. There we go, got another level up. I think I'll grab some mana this time and make things a bit easier. Now this here is that there's an outpost at the center of each lane. These outposts are capturable, and if you capture the outposts you get these cannons here in this pylon, this warp beacon, and all these cannons here. Now if you go back to your temple you'll see 3 beacons behind the base. These correspond to the outposts that are in the middle of each lane. So if I capture middle, which I will in a few seconds, then I can now go onto this beacon and teleport back into the middle. Now these warp gates here are what spawns the spawn for both your team over here and the enemy team over here. They normally spawn 6 at a time, I believe, or and there you can see my hero teleported to the middle again. So these are great for getting around basically. Now I'll show you the cannons. The cannons are quite powerful until you get to late game, as I will soon demonstrate. Okay, I'll turn on my level 1. Now I'm a bit more strong, and I'll show you why these cannons are so strong. Wow, as you can see, the warrior, which has got the most hit points for any starting unit, has died to those cannons in a few seconds. So early game you want to be very, very careful of these cannons, as I believe they have 60 attack, depending on which version this is. Now I'm going to upgrade some hit points, and we'll see what we can do about that temple this time. As you can see, I now have 2,860 hit points, which makes me quite a bit stronger. Apologies for the sucky microphone. My old microphone is broken, so this is what we're stuck with. I'll level 1 so I'm a bit stronger and come and try and destroy this pylon. As you can see, thanks to my extra hit points, I'm lasting a bit longer, but I'm not lasting much better anyway. I'm still going to die. So I'm going to run away. And, oh no, I didn't manage it. Okay, I'm dead now. Let's try one more time, and this time we're going to get our next 2 spells. Now, the third one is really useful. It's Charge of Courage, which paralyzes foes and kills spawned units. Basically, it's a stun, a really big stun, and it lasts for quite a long time. It's one of the most powerful stuns in the game. Now, Immortal Shield, though, is what we're going to be using next. It maintains 100% shields for 20 seconds. This basically gives us an extra 120 shields, which even cannons cannot pierce. Now we're going to teleport to middle, and we're going to have a go at killing that pylon one more time. Now for some reason the spawn is messed up in this game. There's not normally that much. I'm guessing it's because it's a single player match. Now here we go, Charge of Courage. Now we have 120 shields, and as you can see the cannons aren't even injuring us at all. This is really good, as we can now destroy this here. I'm going to grab a bit more attack because I'm a bit weak at the moment. Now we're going to destroy this here. When you destroy these, the spawn stops coming out of them. Unfortunately they respawn, but that's okay because that means you can just kill them all over again, which is absolutely awesome. Normally you don't have infinite civilians at the top center like this, but because this is a practice game, you get anything you want, basically. Anything except other players to play against. Okay, that's destroyed, which is really, really good. Now, let's Charge of Courage, and we'll come in and destroy this. That's one dead. Now this Charge of Courage does wear off, and they'll start damaging us the second it does. Yep, there it's worn off. Yep, they're damaging us, but happily I've killed them, so that won't matter. Okay, now the next tutorial we're going to be showing an actual game, and I'm going to be basically let's playing it. See you there.